Hello, welcome. Tonight we're doing MSQ for Endwalker, Final Fantasy 14. And yeah, let's get into it. The forum must be wary of exposure indeed to so heavily restrict the use of public institutions. If they're going to close off facilities, then they ought to announce it. The students must be furious. Labyrinthos is constructed in the shape of a mortar. This upper layer is called the outer circuit, and the medial circuit lies on the tier below us. We are at an impasse. As we have no other leads, I should like to pursue this one further. But I doubt our stone-faced custodian will be swayed by heartfelt pleas. We must seek another means to access the lower levels. 'Tis likely that the people in this area are involved in the reconstruction in one way or another. If we were to integrate ourselves, they might allow us to accompany them to the lift. Let us ask around. Surely someone is in need of a few strong backs to lighten the load. Am I taking the lift? Oh no, we're just students. They won't let us into the Archeon, even though we found. Actually, we have no idea what it is we found. There's no record of such a creature anywhere. But it was wandering around the Tranquility, and so we thought to donate it to the vaults. Oddest little squirrel, don't you think? Anyway, I suppose we'll have to take care of it until the Archon is open again. At first we thought it might have escaped from one of the research laboratories, but when we reported our find to the studium, they were just as dumbfounded as we were. If it truly is a newly discovered species, we could have our names appear in a gazette. What's that? Take you down the lift with me? Sorry, but not a chance. I've been up and down all day, and only now have I finally found a spare moment to rest. I did see a gleaner fellow heading out the gate there, though, shouldering a large pack, engaged in some manner of task. Maybe he'll be headed down below after he's done with whatever it is he's doing. Please, even talking is an effort. Go and bother the gleaner I told you about. Why, you'll frighten it away. It's you again. I don't mean to be rude, but I'm in the middle of another task. The cloudkin I need to capture is close, very close. You wish to help me with this too. You spend your time in unusual ways, my friend. Still, 2 hunters are generally better than 1. Very well. The canal here is a common gathering spot for birds of all kinds, but the one I'm after today is the hornbill. Its feathers are green and its cry a distinctive call. Single it out and shoot it with this sleeping dart. The effects are short-lived, so I'll lie in wait down by the riverbank to claim our quarry. Be sure to hit the right one. Green bird. Shit. Huh.
A fair shot. Nicely done. Let me truss this one up and I'll make my way over to you.
There you are. Any new revelations? So you met with that gleaner again, this time to capture a hornbill. I understand catching and bringing in creatures from the outside, but what's the point of chasing after ones already here?
Oh, it's a simple thing, really. Occasionally, we remove specimens no longer needed for study, or those we've had difficulty raising. But we can't simply turn them loose. Safely returning such creatures to their native habitats is another facet of a cleaner's duties. But not in this case, I'm afraid. I've been asked to bring the bird below.
The restricted section in the lower levels of Labyrinthos. Open only to a select few researchers hand-picked by the Forum. The projects down there are the subject of rumor and hearsay. Forbidden magics. Advanced technologies that can never be allowed to fall into outside hands. Even Archons are not privy to the truth. Those who are, the researchers involved in this secretive work, are not permitted to walk freely in the city, and are instead required to live in isolated quarters.
What could a facility subject to such strict security protocols possibly need with a hornbill? An experiment?
Possibly. I wasn't afforded an explanation. But judging by the requisition list given to me and my colleagues, I doubt it's for any kind of advanced research. I'd be more inclined to believe we were making preparations to migrate to the south. Mericidia or thereabouts.
What? Why would you say that?
Much of the flora and fauna we were asked to procure could serve as reliable sources of sustenance. They're comparatively hardy species, too, able to endure harsh climates. And among them are specimens known to be effective in improving soil quality and purifying water.
When you put it that way, migration does sound like a reasonable assumption.
That's all it is, though. An assumption. Through our tasks, we gleaners glimpse only bits and pieces of the forum's plans. Our prime concern is that our requisitions, be they living or otherwise, are properly preserved for the knowledge of future generations. Now, I really must be going. I regret that I cannot reward you as you deserve.
Perhaps you might reward us after a fashion then. It is imperative that we reach the lower levels. And seeing as you are already set to descend with your assigned cargo, mayhap we could accompany you as your assistants.
I'm afraid that won't be possible. Once the animals have been prepared for transport, we send them down separately via the lift. I will, of course, follow after to make my report, but I can hardly pass you off as porters when there's nothing left to carry.
Indeed. Pray forget I said anything.
How do you feel about climbing? If you've strength and the courage to brave it, then there is another way down. This path leads to the 33rd facet, a mine shaft excavated during one of our expansions of Labyrinthos. While I cannot guarantee that the passage is safe to traverse, it should provide access to the medial circuit below.
I never even knew such a place existed. Thank you. This is the perfect solution.
You're quite welcome. But consider yourselves warned. If the going proves too treacherous, you do well to turn back. I bid you good day.
Well, turning back is hardly an option, not when we've come this far. Let's go and take a look at this mine shaft.
The medial circuit, which Ehrenwald mentioned, is the tier directly below us. Unlike the lowest level of Labyrinthos with its rigid security, one can usually roam the middle layer quite freely. Let us see what we might find. I never would have noticed this cave on my own. Thank the scholar that Ehrenwald knew of it and that you were there to persuade him to share. It took quite a peek. I took a peek inside, but it's awfully dark in there. This must be it, the entrance to the mine shaft. 'Tis faint, but I hear something moving within. Creatures owned by their researchers, you think? Well, slavering beasts aside, we will need to watch our footing. We should tighten our straps and such before we continue. Oh, my inventory's full. Get rid of all of this stuff. Was fate hunting with Marexio. Go ahead and check out his channel, it's in my recommended channels. I really don't need any of this stuff either. That's enough. Man-made though it may be, the shaft was designed to resemble a natural cave system. Heed Aaronville's warning and do step carefully. Assuming everyone's lightened their straps and checked their gear, then I say we head on in. Given the terrain ahead, though, it might be wise to leave some distance between us. We don't want to be stumbling over each other if it comes to a fight. Take it slow, and don't forget to check your surroundings from time to time. We can meet up again at the other end of the tunnel. That mine shaft was infested with mithril caps, some sort of research project, I wonder. I suppose they are a most unusual creature. Why did they develop such long limbs when all they do is shuffle about narrow tunnels? I was being careful, I swear. The slope was steeper than I thought, and I lost my footing for a moment, that's all. I'm not injured, if you don't count my pride. Yo, did you know Cryo almost took a tumble back there? She can't possibly still be dizzy from the lift. Everyone seems to have made it through without incident, nothing of consequence at least. And as promised, the tunnel has delivered us into the medial circuit. As I recall, this tier is where they keep a wide variety of samples for agriculture production. If Aaronville's assumptions hold true, that specimens are being collected in preparation for a great migration, then we should see evidence of such plans in the area's research projects. Let's follow the path to the nearest farming facility and see what we see. My memories of this place are a touch hazy, but if we keep to the path heading north, then we should eventually arrive at a farm of some kind. Ah, now I know where we are. This is Mario Agronomics. Labyrinthos is a host to a wide variety of vegetation, which allows us to conduct studies on cultivation methods utilized in foreign lands. And it is this facility which coordinates and oversees those efforts. The fruits of their research go to feed their Labyrinthos colleagues, or so I hear. More notable successes might make it to the Allegora, fruits so exotic you'd be hard-pressed to guess their origin, let alone how they might taste. Indeed, mystery vegetables without a name, only a list of nutrient benefits scribbled on a card. I see no gleaners hereabouts, yet these workers seem to share that same sense of urgency. 'Tis possible they know something of the forum's plans and their undying motivations. Worth looking into, wouldn't you say? See what you can coax from the workers. The rest of us will do the same, or cast about for useful clues. A field full of vegetables being left to rot on the vine, not a single picker hard at work. Clearly, procuring readily available fresh food is not the foreman's priority. I'm told this cart holds the harvest meant for the larders here. Nothing out of the ordinary. Oh. Almost fucked myself. Alright. And so you spent years researching these high-yield cultivation techniques? I took a moment to survey the surrounding area. There are several other facilities nearby we can investigate if we fail to learn aught of value here. Do I have aught to be taken down below? More than I can carry, and then some. Most of our stock is sent off via the cargo lift, but some have been embarked for ethereal transport. Hence the stack of crates atop the hill over there. God, hauling the lot of that slope was a job and a half. Right, back to it then. Once I'm done here, I think I'll take some fresh fruit to the last stand and have them whip up dessert. What crops are we raising? Well, as you can see, this one is a variety of grape. Only needs a good source of sunlight to grow, and the conditions here are nothing short of perfect. Hardly surprising given that it's native to a particular locale and the very place upon which Labyrinthos was modeled. A region in the south of Isbard. It boasts remarkable habitat diversity, allowing for myriad flora and fauna to thrive. Chilly peaks in the north give way to swathes of temperate plains, which in turn transition into a hot, humid coastline. Such bountiful territory is ever contested, as you might expect. Used to be called Koros before the Imperials renamed it Lokos Amonos. The Forum saw it not as a prize, however, but as a researcher's ideal environment, one whose climates we strove to recreate with the confines of Labyrinthos. It since provided a rich foundation for countless experiments in cultivation. Once we pick the fruit, we'll need to take cuttings, rather a lot of them, in fact. Wonder if they're planning to grow a new vineyard somewhere. Oh, hello there. We weren't expecting visitors, not with the use of the lift being restricted. How did you make it down here anyway? The mine shaft, you say, where you're a much hardier soul than I. Under normal circumstances, I'd reward such tenacity with a guided tour of the fields, but I'm afraid the form has us filing order lists in a mile long. Massive yet detailed requests, literal wagon loads of crop samples, and hardly any time to put them together. When I first heard of this grand reorganization, I assumed we would be snuffling around old stock to make room for the new. Then came the orders for ridiculous quantities of seeds we've already thoroughly researched. Passing strange, eh? I pressed for an explanation and was met with vague assurances that all would be revealed in due course. Not the most satisfying answer. Visit us again when the lift is back in normal operation. I should hope we'll have all new crops to show you by then, but we probably won't. Okay then. The labels on the crates tell the story of their contents, bundle of common seeds and saplings accompanied by sheaves of reports.
Hard to look away, isn't it? But they're more than pretty flowers. Heart blooms are attuned to ambient emotion. You don't seem convinced, but believe me, it's true. This ashen grey, for instance, it mirrors the anxiety and urgency of those working nearby as they rush to fulfill sudden orders. Intense feelings like those spur the petals to change colour. Bright glowing hues in the presence of joy, dark subdued shades for frustration or despair. Yet even with the collected wisdom of Charlian at our disposal, we've yet to identify the underlying principle of this empathic effect. And there are other mysteries besides. Although the flower is extraordinarily long-lived, its low reproductive rate has made it difficult to find younger populations growing in the wild. With too few sightings to map its distribution, and no closely related species to track, we've been unable to pinpoint its land of origin. To further complicate matters, every culture, even dimly aware of its existence, has given it a different name and mythos. Our attempts to study it via the historical record have been an exercise in frustration. As an avid botanist myself, I should one day like to unravel the Heartbloom's secrets. But I'm afraid other duties must take precedence. I will leave you to your thoughts.
Have you learned aught of interest? A flower that reacts to one's feelings? Strange. I must say, I have never heard of such a thing.
This is all very fascinating. But as it stands, we fail to gain any significant insight into the Forum's undertaking.
Indeed. While there is certainly enough activity to support Erenville's supposition that a priority has been placed on improving food production, unfortunately for our investigation, these workers were never informed as to how their duties serve the master plan.
If only we could interrogate the Forum members directly. Isn't that the entrance to the arcade? Look, there! I think that's Erenville.
A little difficult to tell from here, but I think you're right. He did say he was coming down to make his report.
Erenville receives his orders from the Forum. Would it not follow, then, that the superior to whom he reports is a Forum member? Or at least a close associate?
You mean to eavesdrop on their conversation? What of the risks?
Ours alone to bear. We won't interfere with Erenville's work, nor will he be implicated as an accomplice. If you're not comfortable taking part, I can do this alone.
Nay. I said myself that I wished to know Father's intentions, and no answers will be forthcoming should we simply ask nicely.
We can apologize later, should it come to it. Right now, we need every crumb of information we can get our hands on. Consequences be damned.
It might be best if you came along as well. In fact, we should all... Crier?
Oh, yes, that certainly sounds like a plan.
I'm glad you agree.
Quickly! Erenville is on the move. We need to get closer before we lose him. Almost. I can almost reach you.
Let's get after him already. We've waited as too long as it is. It feels wrong to spy on Erenville, helpful as he's been, but what other choice do we have? Forgive me, my attention has been elsewhere. We were following Erenville, weren't we? Is Cryle still feeling unwell? I've never seen her so distracted. Keep an eye on her, but keep moving too. We cannot let our quarry slip away. Did you see which way Aaronville went? Aaronville was headed westward along the path outside the Archeon. Come, we can still catch him. I like how they run that way, but it's that way. It seems your Stola wishes to have a word with us. We've fallen too far behind, and this damn mist won't help matters. I can still hear it. Hold on a moment, I have an idea. If memory serves, that colossal wall-like structure is Logisticon Beta, one of Labyrinthos' climate control centers. It should have its own lifts, which one could use to access the upper and lower tiers. If I were an agent of the forum, it would make for a convenient meeting place. But even if we happen to find Aaronville in the company of said agent, we cannot expect them to reveal issues of importance as we nonchalantly stroll past. Nay, we shall have to remain undetected. If only Graha and his vanish spell were here. Oh, but there are other ways of turning invisible. Hippity hop, my little toads. Goodness. Huh. Unaccustomed to transfiguration, worry not. It will wear off with the passage of time. I suggest you and your green companions hop along and catch up with Aaronville. Should you feel the magic's fading, return to me and I will refresh the enchantment. And what am I to do in the meantime? Wait here with me. In your current state of mind, you'd be as likely to leap into the jaws of a predator as you would learn anything of note. Which reminds me, where the creatures hereabouts in that form, you are essentially defenseless. You have changed into a toad, you must remain transfigured in order to progress with the objectives. I'm a frog. Yeah. I would have enjoyed being a toad for a little while if only the change of pace, but Yisrael is right, I am too preoccupied with other matters. Ribbit. Alpha Toad and Ali Toad are now accompanying you, keeping them at your side in order to proceed. Ribbit. Okay. Stand still. I shall now recast the spell. The transformation should last long enough to allow you to find and spy upon Aaronville. Yeah, I leveled up as a frog. I did it. Okay.
I trust you will find your compensation to be more than satisfactory. We wish to make clear that we are pleased with the efficiency and thoroughness of your work. So much so that we have come bearing new tasks in need of your competent hand.
Another lengthy list. If I may speak frankly, the Gleaners have been pushed to the point of collapse by your unending demands. We are not familiars to be exploited. We are Charlayan scholars and we deserve an explanation for this unseemly treatment. What warrants such urgency?
In an age long past, Charlayan was charged with a momentous duty. And now that word of the final days hangs heavy in the air, the time has come for us to fulfill that charge. I can say no more, but I promise you this. All will be revealed in due course. And when it has, you will understand that your toil was in service to the greatest good.
Then I will do your bidding. For now. But unless you wish the Gleaners to rise up in protest, I advise you to offer tangible improvements for our working conditions. Your promised revelation does nothing to address present circumstances.
A fair point. Your concerns will be conveyed to the Forum.
I hope that was informative. You may consider my debt to you repaid in full.
You know.
While I do have my reservations about the Forum, I want to believe that they have our best interests at heart. Which is why I'm reassured that you're busy sniffing out the truth of things. We can ill afford to place all our eggs in one basket, this master plan of theirs, without first understanding the risks involved.
Wait! How did you know it was us?
If you mean to impersonate a toad, try studying the real thing. And don't try to fool an expert.
Okay. Our toad performance needs work, apparently. I'll have to pay more attention the next time I see one. I suppose we should have known a gleaner who specializes in animal procurement would not be so easily deceived. Yet he seemed inclined to put his trust in us all the same. More importantly, perhaps we've discovered a new piece of the puzzle, this monumentous duty the forum agent mentioned. Charlian has been called to action and the Teleparty's declaration was the catalyst. Whatever charge it is they hope to fulfill, they deem it self-sufficient. They deem it of sufficient import to disrupt all of Labyrinthos, not to mention ignore Eorzea's request for aid. If we happen to cross paths with Erenville again, I should like to thank him properly. What duty could warrant the direct involvement of the Forum and the commitment of all its resources? Judging by what we just heard, none of the gleaners were offered any kind of explanation. At this point, it seems abundantly clear that we'll learn nothing new by pressing them further. We should head back to Y'shtola and Kryl for the moment, see what they think of this. It's funny how normal the forest seemed now. As a toad, it was so much more ominous and threatening. Where is Kryl? You're welcome back. I trust you found Erenville then. Interesting. I had a feeling you would learn something important, even if that something was simply a confirmation that no one knows much of anything. We should share this with Kryl, then discuss how we'd like to proceed. Assuming we find her back at the farm, she was still behaving oddly, so I bade her return and rest there. Perhaps not the best decision in hindsight. Would you mind checking near those flowers she was so entranced by? The rest of us can survey the more distant areas, just in case she decided to wander. Oh, it's a big area. Stray tomato. No. I'll do you off stream. Work. Where are you, Carl? Yeah. Let's try there. Nope. Not here. Aether point, though. Is it worth it? Yes. Yes, it is. Holy shit. That many Aether points? Gotta be shitting me. I'm gonna have to do that off stream. Every other place it was 5. Or 4 or 5. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a big map. It is a big map. It's a very big map. Still. I can't wait to fly here. There. I've been here. No. Okay. Where are you? Are you just down there? No, that's smarter. I want to go down there. No? Am I just missing something super obvious? Oh well. Oh, I see. Okay. How do I get up there? Not this way. I don't think. Well, maybe. No. Now I gotta go the other way. Yeah. There we go.
For you. The spell will keep it from wilting. She said you would need it for the journey ahead.
Oh. I don't.
Will you speak with her now? I cannot hope to match Minfilia's clarity, of course, but...
Thank you. Do not worry. She has lent me her body for only a moment. Just as I could not save the first from the flood of light, it has become arduous for me to interact with the physical world without assistance. Though I might converse with you for a time, the incorporeal form I assumed on the ship would be incapable of casting even the simplest enchantment. It is in the depths of the ethereal sea, the place to which all life returns, where my influence is greatest. After Minfilia's sacrifice on the first, it was to the sea, here in the source, where I ferried her soul. I wished that gentle spirit to find rest in the world she loved so well. and another who may yet have a part to play, though that will depend on you. Take the flower. Walk free, for you are free to go where you wish, to believe what you will. That bloom will be your guide, test and proof of your conviction. In darkness, seek joy. Surrender not to sadness, and see beyond despair. Walk free, and bear the light for others to follow. Together, raise it aloft and let it shine, till the end, blinding and radiant.
That was all too brief. Already she seems so far away. My apologies if I startled you. Ever since we began our descent into Labyrinthos, I had sensed another's will, straining to reach out. Even with my particular talents, though, I was unable to make a connection at first, so weak and tenuous it was. Once I took hold of that wispy thread, imagine my surprise to discover it was Heidelin herself. Needless to say, it seemed wise to learn what we could before letting go. Her answers were more cryptic than I would have liked, but at least she left us with a guide of sorts, that unusual flower. Yes, we are definitely making progress. You can't be serious! We've done nothing wrong! Master Fortuno, what business has the Forum with us?
Obstruction and suppression, apparently.
Mistress Baldessian, our records show you facilitated the Scions' entrance into Sharlayan by claiming them as assistants for your organization. We are aware of your investigations. After alerting the major institutions to the presence of potential troublemakers, we received word from an Archean custodian. A group operating under the auspices of the students, skulking about Labyrinthos and engaging in clandestine behavior.
Clandestine? We may not have entered Sharlayan as Scions, but we did naught to conceal our identities. Our only purpose in this city is to seek the truth. I can think of no reason why our actions should warrant the Forum's intervention.
'Tis not our way to discourage the pursuit of knowledge, but the timing of such pursuits must be considered, not to mention their potential impact. With the world in chaos, we, the true caretakers of wisdom, have committed ourselves to an undertaking that demands the utmost discretion. And we will not risk its success by turning a blind eye to disruptive foreign elements in our midst.
What then is to be our fate? Will you put us on a ship back to Eorzea?
The Forum will convene to examine your case. The results of said inquiry will determine your future in this city. As for your absent companion, he has already been detained.
Graha! But why? Is reading a crime now, too?
Reading is encouraged, celebrated even. Not, however, of the volumes shelved in the restricted section of the library.
Be right back, I gotta let my dog in. Okay, apologies about that.
Refusing to comply will only make matters worse. Let us instead treat this as an opportunity to open a dialogue with the Forum.
Silence is often one's best defense. I would advise against prolonging the proceedings with frivolous discourse. But enough. This is not the place for debate. The rostra await.
Forgive me. I was careless.
We would have been detained regardless. This way, at least, we managed to stay together. I trust your time within the Forbidden Archives was well spent.
Nice.
The Forum will come to order! This inquiry is now in session. As Speaker-elect, I will be presiding over the day's proceedings. Master Fortuner, would you be so kind as to restate the matter which compelled you to summon your colleagues with such urgency?
As you are all aware, we recently denied Eorzea's request for Sharlayan assistance. Since then, certain individuals dissatisfied with our decision have taken it upon themselves to interfere with our work. They entered our nation masquerading as associates of the students of Baldessian. But these malcontents are better known as the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. These militants wield influence with both the Eorzean and Eastern alliances, and are inextricably involved with the crises presently afflicting the world at large. Loose in our city, these warmongers sought to meddle with and expose matters of state secret. What are they, if not a dire threat to be expelled?
You have tarnished the good name of the students. Galuf would be ashamed.
Galuf Baldessian was never one to forsake his fellow man. Even if this nation closed every door and retreated from the world, he would have found a way to help the Scions, help every soul of this star fight back against the coming doom.
A terrible enemy stands poised to lay waste to all we hold dear. In the face of such madness, Eorzea reached out to Sharlayan, a respected ally, in the hopes of forming a united front. Was your curt dismissal truly the best you could offer? Or are you so preoccupied with your momentous duty of an age long past that even the end of the world is unworthy of your attention?
Whence came this revelation?
From the mouth of a Forum member within fortuitous earshot.
Then it seems your findings support my own. The reason I visited the restricted shelves was to study records of the Forum's policymaking process, to better understand the historical trends underlying their most major decisions. At first glance, the positions of neutrality in war and the accumulation of knowledge above all else appear constant and consistent, the unchanging pillars of Sharlayan society. And once upon a time, I might have left it at that. These days, however, I am more attuned to the subtleties of governance, and so I noticed something odd. From a particular point in time, the purpose of these policies shifted. No longer was knowledge preserved for the benefit of society. Rather, society was to be gradually reshaped to ensure the preservation of knowledge. The most conspicuous and telling change was the one which befell Labyrinthos. Once little more than an oversized storehouse, an enormous allocation of funds saw it transformed into an advanced research and archival facility. I also discovered a fascinating account on the finances of our Dravanian colony. The settlement attracted students from far and wide, and the connections and tuition fees thus acquired were funneled into further improvements for the archives. Now, there is no question that our nation's progress is tied to the acquisition of wisdom. Nevertheless, the vast resources diverted for this purpose borders on the obscene. But returning to the matter of when, our change in course appears to have been made some 270 years ago.
The very same period when Sharlayan scholars in the hinterlands began a formal study of the ethereal sea. You found something, did you not? And whatever it was, gave rise to your oh-so-important duty.
Mind your tongue, Archon. If you had seen...
Yes, we are bound by a duty we cannot ignore. Knowing this, what would you have us do? Abandon our vital work and join you on the field of battle? We will never choose the way of the sword. We will fulfill our mission, not through strife and bloodshed, but survival. Come what may, we shall live on. We must.
Do as you must, then. But we Scions will fight until the heavens fall, until our last breath.
Such misguided zeal.
Father, Master Fortuner, I fail to understand the stance you have elected to take. But by the same token, I have yet to find a compelling argument to counter the challenge you put to us in Gridania. Still, in the midst of my uncertainty, I must trust in myself to do what is right, as others have chosen to trust in me. So I will continue, as I always have, weighing the consequences of my every action, and allowing my hope for the future to inform my decisions.
That's quite enough. Have you all forgotten the reason for this assembly?
Skolok Monteshane. He's the head of the studium and an old friend of my grandfather's.
Honestly, every discussion devolves into some interminable debate. Terrible habit. Let's return to the topic at hand, hmm? By their own admission, these scions have resolved to fight alongside the Eorzean nations against the doom which swift approaches. But there exists no evidence of an attempt to incite our citizens to do the same. Furthermore, while our decision may well have been the correct one, we cannot simply bull our way through these disagreements without inviting doubts or objections. Put yourselves in their place. Who among you would leave a tome unopened if an elder forbid you read it with no reason given? Now, if we're to quell further discontent, then we must conclude this matter with a fair and even hand.
Order! We will have order! Master Monteshane raises some valid points. Keeping such concerns in mind, I propose we enforce the following measures. Until further notice, the students of Baldessian are to cease any and all activities within the domain of Sharlayan. You will also refrain from any further investigation into the Forum's decisions and duties. Failure to comply with these restrictions will result in the immediate expulsion of your Scion associates. Let us put this judgment to a vote. All in favor, raise your hand. I count 51 for and 48 against. The proposal is passed. Students, scions, you have heard the Forum's judgment. Pray abide by it, or face the consequences. Honored members, I thank you for your time. This inquiry is concluded.
Thank the gods for Scholar Montaigne. I absolutely loathe arguing in circles. My father may be right that I am still groping in the dark for answers, but I needed him to know that I would never stop searching. I owe that much to Ehrenwald and myself. You may encounter some raised eyebrows, but do continue to claim the students as your sponsor whenever the need arises. I believe in the guiding principles of the science, and I know my grandfather would have as well. I apologize for the trouble I've caused you. I was pondering the significance of what I had just read as I left the restricted sections, and knocked over the security amendment on my way out. I promise to be more vigilant next time. Well, at least we've been allowed to remain in the city, and our endless investigations have not been in vain. We now know that the mysterious duty of theirs began with whatever the Forum discovered in the ethereal sea. Without our freedom so sorely curtailed, however, we will struggle to learn out more of substance here in Charlian. We shall have to think very carefully about how we are to proceed from here. The overall picture has grown clear, yes, but that's in spite of the Forum being so maddeningly vague about this duty of theirs. Why are they so reluctant to explain their actions in plain words? Survival, come what may. Is Father's work so vital that it takes precedence over his own family? Alfeneld, Alze, it is you. When I heard you'd been dragged before the Forum, I came as swiftly as I could. Oh, excuse me. I am so very glad they allowed you to stay. Mother. Oh. Emilian's Levinier at your service. And you fine people must be the science of the seventh dawn. How lovely it is to finally meet you. Mother, please, we don't wish to make things difficult for you. If word reaches Father that you were here. Oh, brother, that am I to be chastised for speaking with my own children? I am well aware that you and Master Forchamp are not on the best of terms at the moment, but I've been absolutely desperate to see my darlings again. You will come by the house, won't you? I have gifts waiting. The timing couldn't be better. As matters stand, we shan't be going anywhere until we discuss matters with Thancred's group and reconsider our options. Go and visit your home. We will be back at the annex when you are ready to rejoin us. I'm not sure Yo, what do you think? Yo, the Yo-san? What a splendid day this has turned out to be. Champion of Eorzea, I insist that you join us. Aye, but we must be quick about it, not for my own benefit, but should my husband return and find you enjoying our hospitality, the servants will be made to suffer the consequences. Yo, if you would be so kind to us as to escort my children to the estate. And then she was gone, and with her opportunity to protest. Any opportunity to protest. Indeed, the matter is settled. Enjoy yourselves, you three. I'm sure Alphino thinks nothing of it. He invited classmates over all the time. But I wasn't the most. It was different. It was a different time for me, alright? I apologize. My mother is not one to take no for an answer. Still, I'm relieved even, to see her in such high spirits. What say you, Yo? Though it seems we shall have little enough time to enjoy it, will you accompany us on our visit home? Let us give Alze a push then and be on our way. Fine, if we're going then let us get it over with, but be sure to stay in the entrance hall. No peeking into our private chambers, thank you very much. Why ever not, your room was always so perfect, neat and tidy. Everyone has things they'd rather keep to themselves, don't they? Cherished mementos you could bring yourself to throw away, childhood toys. I mean, God, never mind. The Livenier estate is that way, straight down the stairs. Come on. After all we've been through together, it's strange to be here with you now, to come full circle and see how much has changed. The Livenier estate is in the northern part of Journey's End, just down the stairs from the Rasta. Oh, and please don't make a fuss when we get there, it's only a house. Alright. As children, Alphinaud and I would often wait here for our father to come home from work. It must have been a day when his meeting ran long, because I remember growing restless and leaning out over the railing to watch the water rush by. Father, of course, arrived at that exact moment, came pounding down the path in a panic, crying out my name. When Alice and I were little, this bridge was as far as we were permitted to wander alone. I say alone, but my mother or a servant was always somewhere nearby, keeping a watchful eye. And now look at us, traveling to different continents, different worlds even. Well, no free company yet, but eventually. I honestly want to start my own, but I might end up joining one. I don't know. I'll see. And here you are at last. Please do come in.
Welcome home, my lady. What? What are you gawping at? have you know, I'm quite fond of the Rising Stones.
Lord Fortuneau is not to hear of this visit. And I should also like the children to have their gifts, ere my husband makes his return.
As you wish, my lady.
Master Alphino, Mistress Alice, if you would accompany me upstairs.
We shan't be long.
The twins have been sending letters home from time to time, recounting their latest adventures. I am sure they withhold certain details, of course, if only to keep me from worrying. Yet a mother worries all the same. In the early days especially, I tried to support them as best I could, sending the Scion's coin and other such donations. Fortunately, they have found the strength to overcome adversity time and time again. Their words grow more confident with every letter, their depictions more vivid. The triumphs and defeats, the joys and sorrows. It is clear that they have come to find value in every experience. But of those they treasure most, it would seem that meeting you might be the most impactful. Why, since that fateful day, I do believe there has not been a single missive in which you were not mentioned by name. 'Tis plain they care for you, and I am glad they have such a steadfast companion watching over them. Under normal circumstances, I would offer you tea, but alas, these are anything but. In any event, why don't you keep me company whilst we await my children's return? Perhaps you might regale me with a tale or two of your exploits.
When you mentioned gifts, I wasn't sure what to expect. Mother,
Oh, look how well it fits you. And the style is to your liking?
It's perfect. Exactly what I would have chosen. But please, tell me you had something different made for Alphino.
Naturally. You are hardly little children anymore. And while I shall miss dressing you in those precious matching outfits, I must respect the individuals you have grown to become. See for yourself.
Thank you for the splendid clothes, Mother. Stylish, comfortable, and eminently practical.
I am so glad you like them. They are, however, missing one final touch.
If you would allow me, Master Alphino.
Wait. Are these...
A sage's tools of the trade. They belonged to your father. Though he may as well be chained to his desk these days, as a student he was often called upon to venture into the field. He wielded those armaments, both to heal and to harm in no few battles. None so fierce as those you two have braved, perhaps, but battles nonetheless. Thus did I pull them out of storage, to show you that he was not always the man who stands in vehement opposition to you now. And also because it would be a terrible waste of ridiculously expensive House Leveilleur commissioned artistry. I am told these devices are quite difficult to master. But someone of your extensive experience should soon have them darting about with grace and aplomb. May the wisdom in that crystal serve you well. And please, try to find common ground with your father, that you might come and go without need for this awful subterfuge.
We will, Mother. I promise.
My final gifts to you, before you run off, are an observation and a suggestion. Firstly, Fortunato has ever been a serious man, but it was only after you were born that he truly lost himself in his work. I may not know the Forum's inner workings, but I know your father's. The timing of that change in him holds some significance. Secondly, do not seek to best your father with words. Far better that you simply show him. Let him discover the merit of your actions, after they cannot be undone.
Oh, Mother.
We shall take your wisdom to heart. Thank you again for these gifts, and farewell for now.
Safe travels, my children. Eat well, stay warm, and keep your friends close.
And that was that. Only the gods know when we'll be back again. They look so much better. Thank you for indulging Mother's request. I can see it meant a lot to her, and I shall refrain from inquiring as to the content of your private conversation. Our visit was all too brief for now, however, it will have to suffice, as will these tokens of home that we carry with us, these gifts to help us remember who we are and whence we came. But enough sentimentality, let us return to the annex and join our companions. Don't think for a moment I'm jealous of Alphino's new weapons. They're far more suited to him than me. We left for Eorzea in matching outfits, but our styles, both fashion and fighting, have long since diverged. If anything, I'm proud of the differences between us. If I intend to master these stage armaments, that will mean learning to imbue them with the same aether that I poured into moonstone and obsidian. 'Tis difficult to grasp the essence of such an entity for me. It will help to think of the Nullas as allies in battle, simply a new form of the energy which went into something manifesting my Grunkle companions. For us to feel responsible for the schism of House Levanir would be pure hubris. After all, we are merely on the outskirts of what is essentially a family affair, and yet neither can we claim the indifference of strangers. To hear their mother welcome them so warmly was a joy and a relief. As curious as I am to learn the truth of this duty, I wonder what else the Forum is hiding. A calamitous secret whose origin lies in the ethereal sea. Duplicity aside, however, I do not believe Master Forchant means ill. Even the harsh words he had for his children stem not from anger, I think, but desperation. Enjoyed your time with the 11 years, I hope. I would ask how the twins fared, but their new outfits tell the tale. I only hope we can help them reconcile with their father, that they might return home one day with their heads held high. In the meantime, we edge ever closer to the secret the Forum strives to hide, and the flower bequeathed to you by Heidelin is sure to guide us going forward. I'm confident that once you've scouted out the situation in Thavnir, we'll be well equipped to plot our next move. It's wonderful how a garment given in luck can so easily change one's whole outlook. I remember when I was still coming to terms with my talent in the Echo, just being wrapped in the robe of my grandfather somehow made everything less daunting. Though I have not read much on the subject of Radsath, and this visit shall be my first, will be interesting to see the Hanish mean to contend with the tower, different as their magical and technological disciplines are. So it's back to Thavnir. Had I known earlier, I would have considered more suitable attire. Okay. I'm gonna take a break. I'll be back. And I'm back. I have Kryle's instructions in hand. If you're ready to set out, then so are we. Having been to Thavnir before, I can travel by Aetheryte, but what of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kryle was on the same mind, and has already secured the aid of the good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. The Confluence, thou sayest? I'm afraid so, my friend. Thou will recall the hunt for Iceheart, unto whose sanctuary we delivered thee, owning to the knowledge of our comrade Moonbreda. Moonbreda was an authority on aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. Haven't you gone to see them yet? I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame my courage failed me at the last. As it hath many times, I thought to reach out to them after sending them that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak, and thus I have kept my silence. Whether you come with us or not is your choice and yours alone. If it is too difficult, we'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. I shall go to the Confluence, and I shall face that which hath long been overdue. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should look for a researcher named Kiate. Mender. Thank you, Samoto. Alright. That's right there. Well now, this is a rather lot of stern faces. Are my library books overdue again? Not to our knowledge. We're associates of Kryle, of the students of Balder's son. We seek passage to Thavnir and understand that you can assist us. Ah, the test subjects. Welcome, welcome. Test subjects. Oh, you hadn't heard. Well then, allow me to explain. So in order to travel on an aetherite, you ordinarily need to be attuned to it beforehand. Otherwise, you can't use it as a beacon to seek out while you're a mess of ether hurling along the life stream. An inconvenient but inconvertible limitation of aetherite teleportation. But what if I were to tell you that there's a way to travel to an aetherite without being attuned to it? A way to teleport instantly to places you've never been. For long years, we've labored to make such travel possible, that people might move about more freely. And we've finally done it. We've created a new kind of aetherite that doesn't require attunement. Truly, that changes everything. It really does. Well, my language may have been a bit misleading. The user need not attune to these aetherites. But the aetherites themselves must have been pre-attuned to each other, thereby facilitating travel between the 2 points. But it just so happens that our first test pair of aetherites, one has been installed here in Charlian and the other in Yeldermod, a port town in Thavnir. As you may know, our nation has long maintained strong ties with Raz-Zatan, and indeed we owe much of his breakthrough to the contributions of their alchemists. So, to sum up, we're to test these aetherites. How fortuitous for you. I should mention that an ancient has impaired my ability to channel aether. Will this be a problem? Not at all. As a matter of fact, you might say these aetherites were made for people like your good self. The magics imbued within will whisk you away without any effort on your part. A veritable dream come true, and far be it from me to worry about such things. But do we have permission to make use of your shiny new invention? The only permission required is yours, so assuming you're willing, we're all set. It may come as a surprise, but we actually struggle to find test subjects. Most people don't seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating. Seem to have an unreasonable fear of their souls gradually disintegrating as they drift helplessly in the life stream. In the statistically unlikely event that something goes awry. But it's plain that you aren't most people. Monstrous Corral truly knows how to pick 'em. If I might change the subject, are Master Wilson and Mistress Bloda not present today? Oh, you didn't hear? They recently resigned their posts. Their expertise was needed elsewhere. A large-scale project held by the Forum itself, as I understand, but I'm not privy to the details. I see. Any other questions? No? Then let's get going before you change your minds. Please see to your preparations and head outside to the Aetherite Plaza. I'll be along shortly. In case you were wondering, the Aetherite still functions like a normal one. It's just been upgraded to allow unattuned travel. I'll see you there shortly. I shall teleport the tried and trusted way. Good luck. Given my experience with teleportation, I'd be lying if I said I didn't have reservations, but I will trust in Cryo. Though words unsaid yet weigh heavy on my heart, I shall devote mine all to our task in Thavmir.
Right, we're all set. Just the four of you, was it?
3. I'm already attuned to the crystal in Thavnir.
You are? Oh, I would have preferred more test subjects. Oh, well, never mind. If our 3 travellers could line up here, please. Yes, right there is fine. Take a deep breath, and I'll soon have you soaring through the ether. Oh, and one last thing. You might experience a teensy-weensy touch of violent ethereal sickness. Good luck!
What?
Thavnir, home to city-state Rads at Khan. Rising from the southeast waters of the Bounty, this Isle of Plenty served as the battleground for a conflict between 2 peoples. Their cultures bled into one another until a unique amalgamation was distilled from the chaos, in a process not unlike their precious alchemy. Once solidified as a single nation, an adamant stance of neutrality would hold invaders at bay. For a time. Now across this vibrant isle creeps a fog of malice. What choice do you have? What chance? Against such an insidious foe.
I've seen fairer faces after a bout of bad shellfish. Let me bring you something to drink. That should help settle your bellies.
There was a note with Kryle's instructions. Don't let a Stinian roam the markets alone. He's alarmingly bad with coin.
You managed to will yourself to your feet, but given your condition, will you be able to fetch Estinian in time? No stopping our champion. Now quickly, find Estinian before he... Yeah. You there, I need these drinks, something that helps with Aether's sickness. By the Mansour, a traveler, I mean greetings and welcome. You are wise, good sir, to come to me. My special armor, lassie, made with only the finest and freshest ingredients, is famed for calming unruly bellies. By way of warm welcome to Thapnir, I'm pleased to offer it to you. For the low price of 19,800 gil. For not one, not two, but 3 bottles, a bargain among bargains. The price is highway robbery, and you want to say as much to Estinian, but you realize any words of warning you cry out would be accompanied by your last meal. You must stand before Estinian and deny. 19,800 gil. That's a reasonable deal, isn't it? Jesus. Estinian's not good with money, you're right. What was it, deny? I didn't know there was secret dialogue for the wrong emote. That changes everything. Alright. Deny. Where are you, deny? Perhaps it's a bit expensive, still a bit special, like he says. Emotes, the real end boss. Alright. I thought you could barely stand. What do you need to tell me that's so urgent? Are there secret emotes I can just search for? I'm gonna look that up later. Wait, I shouldn't buy the lassie. The merchant is funneling me. Sincerest apologies, sir. But I appear to have my prices confused. It's actually 1,899 gil for the 3 bottles of lassie. That confusion would have been quite costly for the both of us. Very well then. Your coin? Here, a bottle for each of you. Take them to the others and get some rest. That's still a lot of gil. I'll be back after I've explored the town. Fucking elephant, man. That's cool. Alright. "18 seeming to be touched," she says. "Not even my hardest night's drinking comes close." Praise be the 12, my stomach doth loosen its death grip. My heart felt thanks to thee, and Stinian, to the fine fruits of this land. Near teleportation endureth such terrible discomfort. 'Twas tortuous in its intensity, and I would sooner swim a score miles. You were in time, excellent. You spared us Tatur's wrath. Sweet, sweet release. If you haven't already, you should have yours too. Right, I'm ready to get on with it. That lassie truly worked wonders. Back on your feet, I see. Thy hair. Aye, I've bound it. 'Tis the most I could do against the heat, short of shedding my armor. May I ask where you got the cord for it? A local vendor. The man said it's the Abnerian weave, though, and not easily unraveled. And how much did it cost? 9,400 gil, a steal I was told. 'Tis nothing fancy, but I've always valued function over form. That's incredible. I dare say not even Alpha can hold a candle to you. One mustn't be too quick to paint a diverse people with a single brush. If such doth prove to be commonplace, I would presume it sympathetic of societal instability. Oh, fair enough. Claiming Thavnir as its dominion, the nation of rats at hand hath long thrived as a hub of commerce. In the beginning, there were the Axgoda, a Mataga tribe indigenous to this island. Over time, they came to be joined by other races, and through their intermingling, a culture rich and distinct did emerge. From alchemy to textiles, the products of Harnish culture have come to be celebrated and coveted the world over, a development only aided by the nation's prime location as a waypoint betwixt east and west. All of this hath combined to make a trading power of Radsadhan, yet such a status cannot be taken for granted. Nay, it must needs be maintained through judicious governance and stringent regulation, neither of which I see any evidence, given the merchants at a gateway town are free to fleece hapless travelers and tarnish the reputation of the nation at large. Just so, that opportunistic pricing is rampant doth suggest that oversight is much weakened, or mayhap that the people have fallen upon hard times. Whatever the truth may be, 'twould be prudent to ascertain the current state of affairs. Prudent and practical, we've not to lose by learning more. So, ere we seek out Kryle's acquaintance, shall we see what information we can gather here in Yildimad? Excellent. We didn't exactly get off to a flying start, but we'll make up for it. Be thou assured that I am quite recovered. Lassie is truly a boon for unruly stomachs. Is it truly so amusing to see my hair bound? 'Tis how I used to wear it, a functional fashion. Perhaps you were confused by how you found me following Nidhogg's demise. It had fallen loose after the Cheragons removed me from my armor and put me to bed. I simply decided to leave it that way for a time, seeing as I would not don the Azure Dragoon's helm again. Right, let us split up and make inquiries in town. Yo, the pier is yours. Once we have learned what we can, we regroup by the Aetheryte. Off-putting though the mere sight of it may be. Okay. Yeah, I have room. Okay, so minus 13. I mean, that's cool and all, but maybe one day an expansion will account for raiders that have higher gear. I didn't even finish the raids and I had enough tombstones to buy this set. Alright. I'm going to call it here. I think. What time is it? 11:43. It's been 2 hours 41 minutes. Yeah, I'm gonna call it here. Thanks for watching, as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.